Hey, guys. Welcome to the Weapon Works podcast. I'm Zach. I'm your host, and I appreciate you guys joining me. Today, I'm joined by someone who's sitting in the cold right now up in Nebraska, Mr. John Wallace from Shooter Technology Group. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, doing pretty good, Zach. I'm glad to be here. And yep, it's pretty cold lately. We've had an early winter this year for sure.
Yeah, man. I honestly don't think, up in Nebraska and Idaho and all that, I don't think humans were actually meant to inhabit those places. I don't know how we actually got there. It's too cold, man. I can't take cold.
Yeah, but we do all right though. It gets hot as hell in the summer too, so you get the best of both worlds.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So, dude, what is Shooter Technology Group? What do you guys do?
Predominantly, we're a software company, and we got. It's not just me. Like a lot of people kind of just assume it's like me in my basement. No, there are other people here. There's actually another business owner who is the actual senior developer. I am just the guy who takes all the credit, basically.
I got you.
He does all the work. I take all the credit. And what we do is software. And the main thing that we do is we make an app that goes on your phone, tablet, or computer. It's all the same app, and it can run on any device. And you just point your camera or your webcam at anything you're wanting to use as a target. So,
Mhm.
a light switch on the wall, picture frames, cardboard targets, targets from the live range, whatever you want to use, or a whole room full of stuff if you want. And when you shoot at the targets with a laser training device, and there's a lot of different laser training devices out there, but they all have the same basic idea. They shoot a laser.
Mhm.
That's really all it is. Something that shoots a laser, it's going to show you where you hit, and fully integrated shot timer is going to tell you when you hit. It's got
So,
a ton of other features and modes, but that's the basics of it.
so right there on your screen, anything that laser points at, it pops up right there on your screen.
Yep, and it's going to show you, little indicator so you can measure your accuracy and all your shot times over here, so you can measure your speed.
That's very cool. I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that. There's nothing similar on the market, is it? I mean,
We've got some copycats nowadays. We've been doing this since 2012, and I have a motto that any good idea in business, any good idea will be copied.
oh yeah, no
Um,
doubt, no
and
doubt.
we had a bad copy within probably less than a couple of years. There was
Mhm.
somebody trying to nip at our heels.
Well,
Um, Nothing I would really consider a serious competitor or threat. Put it that
mhm.
way.
I got you.
Business wise, it's all just kind of second rate stuff. To be
Well, everybody knows who Alexander Graham Bell is, but I don't know who the second dude that did it is.
honest.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So where did you get into? I mean, where did this idea come from? I mean, it's kind of off the wall. Nothing that my redneck brain would come up with. How did you come across this idea?
So it's basically, necessity is the mother of invention.
Hmm.
I was teaching classes at the time, like concealed carry classes and stuff like that, and also just wanting to keep my own skills sharp. And I was a college student on a budget. I had a CERT AR bolt, which is a laser training aid for your
Hmm.
AR, and it's good by itself, but you don't get any kind of shot timer. That was
Hmm.
honestly the main thing I was looking for at first, and you also don't get any record of accuracy. You just got that little flash of light on the target, and you kind of have to remember where it was, and it's okay. It's better than nothing, but you step it up with some sort of target system like what we offer, and it
Hmm.
makes it quite a bit more valuable. Well, at the time, the only things that were available were the little laser light targets. I shouldn't say somebody else's brand name.
You'll be all right. They don't. I'm little man. Nobody watches this shit.
uh, uh, the little laser light targets were like 250 bucks at the time. They're down in price now, but they used to be pretty expensive. And they only do, really basic stuff.
Hmm.
Or you could spend at least $2,000 on just software and get a projector based system.
I got you.
So, and again, I wasn't some visionary or anything and saw this gap in the market. I was experiencing the gap in the market. The
Okay.
only difference is I did something about it, and then
Hmm.
did it with the help of an actual developer. Got it to a point where, hey, we could actually sell this and try to make some money, and it worked.
So you're not in your mom's basement with a bunch of Red Bulls writing all the code. You got smart guys for that.
Yeah, well, I do some nowadays. I'm actually going to college right now. I
Okay.
got some GI Bill left over from a bachelor's degree still, so I'm actually going to college for programming right now. It's a good field. It's make good money, lots of
Yeah.
jobs, especially in this area. For some reason,
Mhm.
there's a lot of tech companies here in Lincoln.
Oh,
So
dude, you're not going to
it
need a job, man.
insurance for the future. Nothing lasts forever. Plus, it'd be helpful around here.
Hmm.
And I've already learned a decent amount of stuff, especially like I do our entire website,
Okay.
all the styles and everything. I do all that myself. I do all our graphic design and video editing too. And just the more things I've got in my stack, the better I can function in the business or can contribute to the business.
Yeah,
Put it
no
that
doubt, no doubt. I'm a firm believer in always educating yourself, reading a
way.
lot. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much I spend on books. It's ridiculous.
What do you read about out of curiosity?
Business books, man. Let's see. What I'm reading now is the new blah, 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 Seth Godin book. This is marketing. That's my what's in the queue right now.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff like that, dude. I don't read Danielle Steele or it's
no,
all
no
business.
Twilight or Harry Potter. None of
No,
that.
man, no. After the third Twilight, it went to shit. So I'm just kidding. I've never read that shit. So you said GI Bill, so that means you're a vet.
Yeah, I was in the army for 6 years. I was infantry. I went to both shithole countries. Um, uh, ended up. It was fun while it lasted, but I
Hmm.
wouldn't do it again. To be honest,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I would if I'm saying like going forward. Like if somebody walked up and said, "Hey, you want to go back to Afghanistan?" Hell no. Or hey, you want to get back in the army? Hell no. So I did that for 6 years. And then I also worked for when I got out, the Army Reserves came and tracked me down for it was basically a instructor position.
Hmm.
The only reason I took it is because it was non-deployable
Okay,
and got you an automatic promotion too. So,
okay, I got you.
um, but it was a local training unit. It was like a squad worth of dudes, like 8 people in this whole unit. And
Hmm.
they were just looking for old E5 or above infantry guys that were getting out. They needed, and we just went to California once or twice a year and ran basically the Army Reserves equivalent of NTC or JMTC or
Okay.
JRTC, if you know what those are.
Hmm.
And we did that out there. And that was a fun time, but I quit that after a couple of years too because it was kind of a I was tired of that too, honestly.
So you said 6 years. Were you one of the guys that the recruiters talked into 6 years? You get stop lost, something like that.
No, I got lucky. I didn't get stop lost. I extended voluntarily to go to Afghanistan.
Okay.
They did wave quite a bit of cash in my face, quite a bit of tax-free cash in my face, if I'm being honest.
They'll do that.
Um, but when our unit was deployed to Afghanistan, my entire platoon had 4 NCOs in it, including
Okay. Young,
so you.
young
And I
platoon.
mean, yeah, an infantry platoon in the army is not that dissimilar to one in the Marine Corps. So I'm sure you know
Hmm.
that's way low.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so they were offering some pretty nice chunks of cash to get us to stick around. So
Nice.
I did, and it was okay.
So, the tech world, that's something I'm completely unfamiliar with. I wouldn't know what to do if I had some sort of tech idea that pops up. You know, what were some of the struggles and stuff you had to deal with while building something like this that has never been done before?
Um, from a designer perspective, a technical issue that we came across was there was no pattern to follow.
Hmm.
All right. For example, if you want to create a new YouTube,
Yeah.
if you were trying to compete with YouTube, there's a pattern to follow.
Yeah.
YouTube's pattern. It's been established.
Hmm.
With our thing, there was no pattern. We made the pattern because we were the first to do it. And you always kind of end up software is a lot like anything else. You kind of end up down a rabbit hole where you're looking back up the hole and you're going, man, I wish I had done that different and that different and that different, but you ain't going to go back up and do
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
because you're so far down the hole now.
Be like, I don't
Um,
I don't want to do it that different, that bad. I'm not going back there. I got you.
yeah. So from that perspective, because I'm really big on like user experience and user interface and user experience, and that I want to make that as seamless as possible. I want to make an app that still has tons of functionality, but is still very easy to use, and that's the constant in software design. That's the constant struggle. Still offer all those features, but still be easy to use. From a business perspective, money.
Yeah.
we didn't really start making money at this till 2015, honestly.
Okay.
We weren't losing money before that. That is one of the nice things about software.
Yeah.
When one of the business owners is a software developer, I should mention, because if that wasn't the case, then yeah, it would have taken a lot longer to make money. But yeah, those are probably the two main struggles we dealt with early on.
I got you. Yeah, money's always a big deal. And I know when you said that's one of the cool parts about software. Everybody looks and like, well, he needs a laptop writing code, and people don't understand the overhead that's involved with all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes into that stuff.
And a lot of it, like other business owners are aware of, they just don't think about. You got customer service. You have customer service, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You have credit card fees. You have development fees, I'm sure, for like a website and stuff like that. You have to pay. You might have to pay an electrician to come in and install a new outlet in that place, or like a lot of this stuff, it still exists when you have software. And the other thing I'll point out is development time. Good development time is not cheap.
Yeah.
It runs into the hundreds of dollars per hour.
Yeah, I imagine a developer is kind of like a doctor. You can get a really cheap doctor, but do you want a really cheap doctor, right?
Yeah, end up in Tijuana with some kind of weird infection.
Yeah, some dude with one eye pulling teeth out, and like, I don't know about this. And I've been to Tijuana, so that's pretty. No way. So, where do you see this piece of software, this business being in 5 or 10 years, man?
Oh man, that's a tough one to call. We've always got some stuff in the pocket that we're working on. We have, if you wanted to do a patent search, you could find out some of the stuff that we're working on right now. I don't know how long that's going to be before it's out. A while, years still. But that's going to be pretty cool once it's out. It's going to be kind of, in my opinion, kind of groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But so hopefully that's out, and we're continuing to stay ahead and stay on top of the market. As far as our product goes, since that's what most of the consumers actually care about, they don't really care about the company, they care about the product, and that's fine because that's what they actually use. The product, we're going to keep doing it as long as people keep using it and paying for it, to be honest. That's one of the nice things about a software company is you can scale back down to a basement business if you needed to. But recently we released a new version of the software that is a web-based version. So kind of like you access Facebook or your email, you just go to a website and log in, and it's all right there.
Okay.
And that means you can use it on any device.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's been kind of the new thing right now. Like we just officially released that yesterday, announced it. It's been available for about a month, but we just announced it yesterday. And that's kind of the new thing. And I mean, that's we're expecting that because of that really high level of functionality that we can achieve now with a web app. We're expecting that to carry for at least 5 to 10 years into the future. So.
Okay. So is it a one-time purchase thing, or is it a subscription-based thing?
Yes. You can do either one. We did try having only a subscription and messed around with that. What we found was that people were kind of afraid of, they didn't like being that committed to something. And I totally understand. Like I totally empathize. I am subscription averse myself. So we still offer, you can just purchase it outright.
Okay.
We just call it a lifetime subscription is what it is. So.
Nice. You guys, you don't have any limitations on how much you can use it. If you're paying for it, it's there and it's yours, and just use the shit out of it, right? Get back.
Yep.
Nice. So we talked a little bit about some new products right there that you're directing people to a patent search. We're not going to dig into that anymore, but
Well,
so,
I would talk about it, but honestly, it's so far out and so, I'd be talking about it like this. I can
I
only
gotcha.
see, I can only see this far. I can't really see what's going to be 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So
I got you. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So patents, you've got some patents for your app. Is you had to go through all that process?
not for the current app. Really, I have kind of a weird opinion on patents in that they are just a really expensive bluff.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. The Wright brothers, they never
Mhm.
made a dime off the airplane patent.
Yeah.
Why? Because Curtis, what is it, Curtis Motorcycle Company, started trying to compete with them
Hmm.
and just purposely infringed on patents so that they would get sued and tie up the Wright brothers' resources and money. And it just kept going on for years and years and years
Yeah.
because a patent ain't worth crap if you ain't got the money to enforce it.
Yep. You're not the first person that's told me that.
Yeah.
And I've looked into the process for a couple of different things. It seems like a very long, drawn out, expensive process.
It is. So just keep what I would say to any new business owner, any guy out there with that idea is just keep in mind that one, any patent can be circumvented,
Hmm.
and two, uh, a patent isn't worth anything if you can't enforce it. You have to enforce it in civil court, and that takes money.
Yeah, that's good advice. Good advice.
Um, so just consider that. The other thing I'll say, if you're in the software world, is software patents. There's like 4 things in software that are actually patentable.
Hmm.
Beyond that, it's really a bluff. It's like stuff that will not hold up in a civil court
I got
against
you.
any kind of competent lawyer. So that's why you don't see patent numbers on Microsoft Works, for example.
See,
You know.
learn something new every day. Had no clue. Had no clue. So, Chris, how or John, I'm sorry, bro. I'm a dick. Uh, uh, how old are you, man?
I am 31, I think.
Oh shit,
Um, so a
feel
little
like
older than I've been told. I'm older than I look.
young man,
I don't
young
know.
man.
So,
Well, if you could go back, I know we talked about this before. You got a good story for me. So if we can go back and tell yourself something at 18, what would you say, man?
oh, at 18, um, the army's really stupid. Now, um, no, I was thinking about earlier in the business. As far as what I would go back and tell myself when I was 18, I don't know. If it's kind of a catch-22 where you're stuck. Where if you change I don't know. It's like a Back to the Future thing. If you change too
Hmm.
much in the past, then you won't recognize the present anymore.
I got you.
And so, as far as that would go, not much. I wouldn't tell my 18-year-old self much. Now, if you go back about 2, 3 years ago, back when this business really took off,
Hmm.
and we started to have pretty good cash flow, and we had choices of what to do with that cash flow, and we chose to diversify, or to attempt to diversify our product line.
Hmm.
We actually came out with a live fire product line. And you won't find it on our website anymore because it's been discontinued.
Hmm.
And so, as you can tell, it didn't go super well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we decided to, before it turned into a money pit more than it was.
Hmm.
If I go back 2 years ago, I'd say don't diversify, specialize. That's what successful companies do. You look at Adobe, the software company,
Hmm.
they make graphics manipulations programs.
That's it.
Photoshop, Premiere, and Illustrator. Those are all just graphics manipulations programs. That's all
Yeah,
they are.
they're not
One's
trying
for
to they're not trying to compete with QuickBooks.
yeah, exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. Um, and if I go back, I tell myself that, honestly.
A lot of those books I tell you I read, a lot of the really uber successful guys, that's exactly what they say, man, is
Yeah,
don't
and
diversify.
that's what we're doing now with the new app and everything. We're zooming
Mhm.
right back in on what we know that we're good at, playing to our strengths, and I'm a big advocate of that now.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing, is as far as like as long as we're on the topic, like business theories about business, what makes good business.
Hmm.
And I didn't come up with this. I read it or heard it somewhere. I'm kind of like you. I don't usually read books, but I watch a lot of podcasts on marketing and that kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which, if you're not into the topic, is not that interesting, unfortunately. But but one of the things I'm kind of a believer in now is what makes a successful business is a product oriented business.
Mm-hmm.
There's businesses out there that are marketing oriented. I could name a couple. You can probably think of them where their product really isn't that unique or special or anything, but they're really well known because of good marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar Shave Club,
Yeah.
if I'm going to pick one. They have really good marketing, but their product, I mean, it's just razors and shaving cream. I mean, I know they got other stuff now too, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just razors and shaving cream. So you can go to any store and buy that. And you have businesses that are built on customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some businesses kind of have to be because they don't really have a real product, a tangible product, if you will. And that would be like insurance companies and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. They kind of have to be built on customer service. But the real successful companies, I think, are the companies that are product focused. They want to make a really good product. And that's not to say that customers aren't important or marketing isn't important, but that's the main focus. If
Yeah.
you make a really good product, they will come. If you build
Mm-hmm.
it, they will come. And that's our refocusing efforts here currently are let's get really back into making a really good product.
Yeah.
So
Well, you never stopped making a good product, but you're just focusing on.
yeah, we diversified out into, hey, let's make several good products, and went, it didn't go so well. Let's just make one really good product.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense. So you said you listen to marketing podcasts. Who are you listening to, man?
To be honest with you, I usually just Google it and whatever comes up. There's a couple guys that I like, but I try not to like them too much because generally speaking, all those guys are trying to sell you something. There's one I do like, is Sam Ovens,
Okay.
but I try not to watch too much of his stuff because I don't want to turn into like a cultist.
I have to write that down, man. I have to check that shit out. I love that kind of stuff, man. I really do.
And he's actually the one who I got. He's a big proponent of successful companies are product focused.
Okay.
They make a really good product because if you make a really good product, you don't have to have really good customer service,
Yeah.
because your product doesn't fail and your product is easy to use and blah, blah, blah.
People don't have to use the customer service that often.
Exactly.
I got you.
Yeah. So that's my current theory on business. Always evolving though. So.
Oh, yeah. You might tell me something 365 days from now that's completely different. You never know. You never know. You gotta be willing to pivot and move. It can get daunting and annoying sometimes. So. So man, look, why don't you tell these guys how they can find you, your website and your social media and.
Yep. My website is laserapp.com, lasrapp.com. If I had a thing, I would hold it up now. You can also just Google LASR, and it will be like the first 20, 30 results.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of reviews out there. Feel free to take a look around. And by all means, let us know if you got any questions.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Dude, I appreciate you popping on here with me and telling me a little bit about the app. I have to check it out, dude. Because I do not have time to get out to the range anymore. So it'd be kind of fun to play with. But guys, this is John Wallace, Shooter Technologies Group. Dude, I appreciate you coming on here with me so much. I really do. And guys, I appreciate you guys coming in here and giving me a little bit of your time and hearing a little bit about mine and John's journey. And if you like what you hear, thumbs up. Subscribe on YouTube, leave us a review on iTunes, guys. I'll appreciate it and I love you forever. So everybody have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you guys later.